COTEL, its stablemate in for second, will be right there on speed for Linda Meach, giving itself every chance.
COTEL for Linda Meach, goes for the whip, led a length and a half, and COTEL in the opener from JUKEBOX Flyer and Tanto.
Race 1 is a 2-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres. I'm sorry I can't do an intro today, just not in the right space. But Giga Kick is the $2.20 favourite and TAPIN 3 is the second favourite at $4.50. And this was TAPIN 3's most recent jump out at Pakenham. We showed this horse last week. That was my on-top selection last week before it got scratched. Comes into this race at Flemington where I think it's well placed. Linda Meach takes the ride here, so the intent to go forward is shown. A horse that probably wants to do a bit wrong looking at its gear changes, but hopefully from gate 8, Linda Meach can get it into a good headspace. It can go get a position up on speed, and I think is a better price than Giga Kick without a doubt. I think Giga Kick deserves to be much longer than what it is. I've got TAPIN 3 out top. Giga Kick, the trainer's worried about it on a heavy track, likely, and the 1,000 metres. And with those in mind, down the Flemington straight, I just can't see it, $2.20, how I can tip it on top. Stupendo in for third, the class, and RAJNISH in for fourth. But I'm with TAPIN 3 in the first at Flemington. Race 2 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,700 metres, and Oceana Blue is the $3.50 favourite. $5 for both THALASSOPHILE and CORDOBES, and the rest are double figures. This was CORDOBES' most recent run in Adelaide. This was in a benchmark 60, I think, over the 1,500 metres. Just over the 1,500 metres. It hit the front and just got run down late by, I think, another rally. This was a pretty good effort. CORDOBES, I think, up in distance won't do it any harm. Draws gate 10, Damien Oliver goes on, it'll have to get back, but I reckon it's got the class to run over all the top of these, and if they get the right speed on, and it comes down to a race for the swoopers, I reckon CORDOBES is the one to beat. I've put it on top ahead of THALASSOPHILE, who draws well, Brett Rebel on, decent run last start behind Aaron Bays, so it can figure. Oceana Blue happy to take on at the price, draws wide, but Jamie Carron's a plus, and it'll be storming home from the back, and the red kite, Linda Meach on the week back up, watch out for it. But I'm with CORDOBES in the second race at Flemington. Hopefully it can do well. Race 3 is the Fillies and Mares benchmark 70 over 1,600 metres, and It's True is the favourite at $4.40, just ahead of ZOUSONIC at $5, and Angelic Scent is at $6. This was It's True's last start run at Sandown behind Cyclone Sally on a pretty bogged track. Parisian Dancer ran third, comes out of this race and ran a disappointing race at Sandown yesterday. But It's True, this was only second up, so third up on the weekend should be peaking. It was 1,200 up to 1,600 metres here, so I think it'll be fitter third up at the 1,600 metres. It was finishing hard here, and from gate 7, Jacob Opperman, I like the booking of Jacob Opperman, can get it midfield or so, and I reckon it'll be in the right spot to take over late in the piece and win. So I've got It's True on top. ZOUSONIC in for second, has to carry the big weight, but is the class horse and can do it. Soaring Eagle draws well and is a good horse. And yeah, I think it can do well as well. And Spanish Tide's the same. It was a good last start winner. But I'm with It's True in the third race at Flemington in a bit of a open race. Race 4 is the feature. It's the Flemington Cup over the 2,800 metres, and Thurara Shies is the $2.70 favourite for Jamie Carr, Kiramar and David Eustace. Horrifying is the second favourite at $3.10. Sweet Thomas and Pappalino come out of this race at the Sunshine Coast. Now, Pappalino really likes wet tracks, and it got its favoured wet track here and was finished close to La Don de V up the front. Was fading late, so I don't think 2,800 metres is its best distance, but I think it's still a good chance on Saturday. And Sweet Thomas was in the worst part of the ground. Didn't really like it at all, but still likes heavy-ish tracks. I've got these two horses on top on the weekend. I reckon these two are the ones to beat. But I've got Sweet Thomas on top. Draws well. Was good in this race last year behind the Good Fight. And I think can go one better this year. So 4 each way Sweet Thomas, 2 each way Pappalino. Horrifying in there for third. Craig Williams will put it up the front, and it'll be giving itself every chance, a consistent racehorse. And Through Our Shies, way under the odds, happy to take it on for Jamie Carr. But I'm with Sweet Thomas and Pappalino. Race 5 is the Byerly Handicap over the 1800 metres for the 2-year-olds, and Quang Tri is the $2.60 favourite. The last start winner, Capital L, is next best at $5, but this was Quang Tri's most recent win at Flemington. This was, I forget the race name, but it was a good win. It beat Magnus Spin and Grinzinger Bishop, who was in the market. King's Consort ran second, and that's a pretty good horse. And none of those horses are in the race on the weekend, so I think Quang Tri, even though it rises up in weight a fair bit, the class of horses that it faces decreases, so they sort of even out, and I reckon Quang Tri is the best of the day. What I saw there was good, and I've got 20 to win on Quang Tri. 6 to win on Verifier. Go back and watch its debut run at Flemington. It was an absolute eye-catcher from the back. I reckon it can go a couple better this time for John McNeil and go well. 2 each way on Bada Boom Baby. Annabelle Neesham trains. Jamie Carr rides. Draws well. I think it's way over the odds at $34. And Grinzinger Bishop, I think it's scratched at the moment, so we'll leave that. But Quang Tri in race 5. Race 6 is a benchmark 78 over the 1,000 metres, and Squid Game is the $2.20 favourite, just ahead of VERANSKOVA at $5.50 and NASRAAWY next best at $9.50. This was VERANSKOVA's most recent jump out at trial at Cranbourne. This was a solid piece of work. It shows that it's come back sort of what it's shown in its previous preparations. Came third in this jump out. Invincible Jet's a real speedster, so it was never going to catch that. But it's drawn gate 11 on the weekend, the right part of the straight. John McNeil on, should be getting back and charging home later. 1,000 metres, it's going to want further in time, but I think VERANSKOVA is a tad over the odds at $5.50. I'm happy to put it on top. Squid Game in for second, well found in the market, but it was a good run last up behind Inundation. Craig Williams takes the ride, gate 6, ideal, it can win. NASRAAWY, the last start winner down the straight at Flemington over the 1,000 metres, also a good chance. Gate 8, good chance. And SHAM, who ran second to NASRAAWY that day, is also in with a hope. But I'm with VERANSKOVA in the 6th race at Flemington. Race 7 is an open handicap over the 2,000 metres, and MANKAYAN is the $4.20 favourite ahead of Blue Cup at $4.40 and $5 for HEZASHOCKA. Kiramar and David Eustace, I think, have got about 6 horses in this race. HEZASHOCKA and D'Aguilar come out of this race at CAULFIELD, the same class and distance as what it faces on the weekend. These 2 horses were both third up. D'Aguilar just getting the better of HEZASHOCKA late. No effort, I thought, was home and hosed, but obviously that wasn't what happened at the finish line. HEZASHOCKA gets a bit of a weight swing, I think 2.5 or 3.5 kilos on D'Aguilar. I reckon that's enough to turn the tables on these 2. Getting to Flemington will also suit HEZASHOCKA. Jamie Carr on suits. I've got 10 to win on HEZASHOCKA. Pretty keen on it in this field. A race where there's horses just starting to find their peak. I reckon HEZASHOCKA is the one to beat. D'Aguilar in for second was a good run, a good win there, and can do it again. Blue Cup will be fitter, might need one more run, but it'll be fitter and going well on the weekend. And MANKAYAN, 5-week freshen up, not ideal, but good chance. I'm with HEZASHOCKA. Race 8 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,400 metres, and Daytona Bay is the $3.60 favourite ahead of PASCERO at $4.40 and My Yankee Girl at $5.50. This was Daytona Bay's last start run at Caulfield behind Cardinal Gem a couple of weeks ago. It just missed the boat here, got held up, and couldn't really find luck in the straight until, the early part of the straight, but it had its momentum holded a long way out from home. And after this race, I knew this horse was going to go to this race at Flemington, so I've been following it, and it was hard for me to go against it on what I saw on this day. I've been following this horse ever since that run, and I knew it was going to go to this race, as I've already said. So I got 15 to 1 Daytona Bay. I reckon it's ready to win. Jamie Caron is also a big plus. Gate 8 needs to find cover, but if it does, I think it's the one to beat, definitely. PASCERO in for second. Second up will be fitter. Was a good run in the Creswick. Damien Oliver on, it's a good chance. GABSTAR way over the odds at 60 to 1. Matty Cartwright on will be running on from the back. Last up run was impressive, and My Yankee Girl in for fourth. But I'm with Daytona Bay in the 8th race. Race 9 is a benchmark 84 over the 1,200 metres, and Bill the Boxer is the $4.20 favourite ahead of Tamer Lane at $6.50, and Fluorescent Star is at $7 with Incredulous Dream. Fluorescent Star comes out of this race at Flemington. This was in the was it the straight 6? Oh, it was something like that. Anyway, it was the sprint race for the sprinters. Serious Suspect got up. Sartorial Splendor ran third. Sartorial Splendor come out of this race and run pretty good last week at CAULFIELD. Fluorescent Star finished off well here. Will be fitter for this run. Gate 11's drawn the right part of the track. Matty Cartwright takes the ride. Will be flying from the back late and hopefully nabbing Beat the Boxer. I've got 8 the win on Fluorescent Star, 10 the win on Bill the Boxer as a saver. I reckon Bill the Boxer's a good chance. Gate 12, Alana Kelly takes the ride. It can definitely win. A Credulous Stream first up. Is it too far up in class? Who knows? But Jamie Carr takes the ride, which is important, and Tate Mullane in for 4th. And with Fluorescent Star in the last, good luck to you all on Saturday. I'll see you next week.